जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना जमुना तीरा बनचारी जमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतवैचरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा मई की जय जमुना मई की जय श्रीमती तुलसी देवी की जय श्रीमती भक्ति देवी की जय कलयुग पावन से हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानो सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you in Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, and we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2 chapter 10 text 26, and title is Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. Text 26, please repeat after me. Nirvidyata sishno vai prajananda mritarthinaha upastasit kamanam priyam tad ubhayasrayam निर्वेद्यता शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम् निर्विद्यत शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम् निर्विद्यत शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम् निर्विद्यतः शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम् निर्विद्यत शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम् निर्विद्यत शिष्णो वै प्रजानन्दामृतार्थिनः उपस्थासित कामानां प्रियं तद उभयाश्रयम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Word to word meaning. Nirvidyatah came out, Shishnah, the genitals, Vai, certainly, Prajananda, sex pleasure, Amrita, Amritarthita, Amritarthinah, aspiring to taste the nectar, Upastha, the male or female organ, Asita, came into existence, Kamanam, of the lustful, Priyam, very dear, Tat, that, Ubhayasrayam, shelter for both. Translation. Thereupon, for sexual pleasure, begetting offspring, and tasting heavenly nectar, the Lord developed the genitals, and thus there is a genital organ and its controlling deity, the Prajapati. The object of sexual pleasure and the controlling deities are under the control of genital of the Lord. Purport. The heavenly pleasure for the conditioned soul is sexual pleasure, and this pleasure is tasted by the genital. The woman is object of the sexual pleasure, and both the sense perception of the sexual pleasure and the woman are controlled by the Prajapati, who is under the control of the Lord's genital. The impersonalist must know from this verse that the Lord is not impersonal, for he has his genital, on which all the pleasurable object of the sex depend. No one would have take the trouble to maintain children if there is no taste of heavenly nectar by means of sexual intercourses. This material world is created to give the conditioned soul a chance for rejuvenation, for the going back home, back to Godhead. And therefore, generation of living being is necessary for upkeep of the purpose of creation. Sexual pleasure is an impetus for such action, and such action one can even serve the Lord in the act of such sexual pleasure. The service is counted when the children born of such sexual pleasure are properly trained in God consciousness. The whole idea of the material creation is to revive the dormant God consciousness of the living entity in the form of life other than the human form. Sexual pleasure is prominent without any motive or the service for the mission of the Supreme Lord. But in the human form of the life, the conditioned soul can render service to the Lord by creating progeny suitable for the attainment of salvation. One can beget hundreds of children and enjoy the celestial pleasure of the sexual intercourses, provided he is able to train the children in God consciousness. Otherwise, begetting children is on the level of the swine. Rather, the swine is more expert than the human being, because swine can beget the dozen piglets at the time, where the human being can give birth to only one at the time. So one should always remember that the genital sexual pleasure, the woman and the offspring all are related in the service of the Lord. And one should forget its relation. And one who forget this relationship in the service of the Supreme Lord became subjected to the threefold miseries of material existence by the law of nature. Perception of sexual pleasure is there even in the body of the dogs, but there is no sense of God consciousness. The human form of life is distinct from that of the dog by the perception of the God consciousness. निर्विद्यतः शिष्ण वै प्रजानंदा मिथार्थिना उपस्तासित कामानां प्रियम तद उभयाश्रम. In this chapter, Prabhupada writes his purport, the highest pleasure, the anand in material world, is the sexual pleasure. And Prabhupada in the last para also mentioned that same pleasure is available in all species of the life. The animals also getting the same pleasure what human being is getting or attracted. So Prabhupada mentioning in the purport, if getting the birth in the human form of the life, if you are attracting such kind of pleasure, then what is the meaning of the taking the human birth? Human birth is so valuable, so we can advance in so much and we can go back home, back to Godhead. This is the purpose of human life, not involving in such kind of bodily pleasure. But Prabhupada also mentioning, if some is not able to control, he can engage sexual intercourse and beget the children and train them proper in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, in this material world, highest pleasure is considered the sexual bodily pleasure. And therefore, Rupa Goswami Pad also mentioning in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Sukham Vaisikam Brahmam Aishwaryam Cha iti tat Trividha. The Rupa Goswami Pad saying there are three types of happiness. He is saying there are three types of happiness. The first is, he is saying, from material happiness, material things. So from material things. Second is from Brahman realization. So one can get pleasure from the material thing. And second, he is saying, one can get pleasure from the Brahman realization. And third one, Rupa Goswami was saying, from the Lord through devotional service. So these three, Rupa Goswami Pad explaining Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, and Prabhupada gave detail on his book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Therefore, first we can discuss about from material things. So material things, we can get so many pleasures. Just Krishna says, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter, Ehi samsapja bhoga dukha yona evate. Just we can see from our eyes, we can see some object or the material thing like movie. We are watching movie through our eyes and getting some pleasure through that eyes, enjoying. And so Krishna saying that pleasure is limited, very, very limited. Similarly, from ear we can hear the Bollywood song and enjoying that song through our ear. But what is the duration? The first one can see the movie half an hour and 2 hours, and after that we can bored. And even the song also, we can what time, how much we can enjoy from that music or the song, the Bollywood song. Very, very little time. Similarly, our tongue, through tongue, the conditioned soul enjoy so many varieties of the food. He is the tasting so many variety of the food. When we are walking through a street and cow gully, and you had aroma coming to the air and entering your nose, and you think, let's go and take something. Very, very tasty smell coming. That their enjoyment is there through eyes, through ear, through tongue, and through skin. And this enjoyment is there in animal also. And example is already given in the Shastra how the deer when the hunter want to catch the deer and he play the music flute, and deer start hearing the flute, enjoying, and in that enjoyment hunter caught the deer. Therefore, and fish also, fish try to enjoy eating so much, and he caught in the net. Therefore, and similarly the elephant also try to enjoy through a skin, and hunter again caught hold him. Therefore, this enjoyment from the through skin, through eyes, through ear, very, very limited. There is no unlimited enjoyment. And also, while enjoying this, we can invite the miseries. If you are not alert in enjoying this food or enjoying this music and enjoy this bodily attraction, you will invite so many miseries in our life, and ultimately go to death. Therefore, Sri Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Ehi samsvarsa bhoga dukha enav. These are limited and ultimate lead to the miseries. So, this happiness is very, very little. Very, very little. Like if you are walking on the desert, Registan, and we are thirsty, and we need water, and somebody coming with a bottle, please take the water. And he open the bottle and pouring, so one drop water is coming from his bottle only. And that one drop is not satisfying the soul. So that one drop is considered as material pleasure is like that one. And Ramayana also tell the story, one story about how the bodily attraction is the so much the conditioned soul. He want to enjoy different varieties, color. And it is said there is one Brahman who was handicapped and he has beautiful wife and living in bliss, and Brahman was the handicapped, wife was beautiful wife, and there is one prostitute in village, and that prostitute is very beautiful. And that Brahman, the handicapped Brahman, was thinking, this my wife is not so beautiful, and that prostitute is so beautiful. I want to enjoy that prostitute also. I want to get pleasure, more pleasure than my wife to that beautiful. And he expressed his desire to his wife. And it is mentioned, his wife was very chaste, understanding, and the wife says, okay, no problem, I will carry to you to that prostitute. The wife of Brahmana put the Brahmana on his shoulder, and in the night, first he went to the prostitutes, expressed his desire, her husband's desire, and prostitute thinking, what kind of this Brahman is? He has so chaste wife, beautiful wife, chaste wife, and he trying to enjoy to me. So prostitute says, okay, you can bring him at night. And after she came back and told his husband, be ready, we are going in the night. And the Brahmana's wife carrying her husband on the back and walking in the night, and he went to the house of prostitute. Understanding the prostitute, understand the quality of his chaste wife, and want to give some lesson to the Brahman. And she said, okay, you are the Brahman, Atithi, Brahman is worshipper. I want to give some service to you, so please accept some food. I will offer some food, please accept some food, then I will fulfill your desire. And he bring out some food in the different bowls. First bring out in the golden bowl, then the silver bowl, and then again he bring out the brass bowl. And Brahmana was thinking in his mind, after eating such kind of food, I am going to enjoy the body of the prostitute. And after finishing the food, the prostitute asked the question to the Brahmana, how was the food? The Brahmana says, very tasty. The prostitute said, no. This is golden bowl, this is silver bowl, and this is the brass bowl. Which bowl was food so tasty? The Brahman says, the food was, each and every bowl was so tasty. Because same food is served in the different bowl. And he was getting the same taste. Then prostitute said, my dear Brahman, this is golden bowl, this is silver bowl, this is brass bowl, but you are getting the same taste from each bowl. There is no difference in the taste. Therefore, you are coming to me for the pleasure of sexual pleasure. What you get from your wife, the same pleasure, there is no difference. My skin is fair, your wife's skin is dark, but there is no difference. Now Brahman realize what the prostitute is saying. This is in the material world. If somebody is fair skin, somebody for the woman is the man, for the man is the woman, both side. Not one side, the both side is. The somebody is fair, more attracted. Somebody is not fair, not so much attracted. And above that earthly planet, there is a heavenly planet. There is Somarasa and there is Apsaras, just beautiful Apsaras and so tasty nectarian Somaras. Therefore somebody want to do the yajna, Soma yajna. So completing that yajna, he will go to heavenly planet and enjoy the same thing, the Somarasa and beautiful heavenly dancer. But here Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, whatever enjoyment you getting, but the matter, in the material enjoyment, is it limited and not fulfilling your desire. Very, very little happiness you are getting. This is material example. And second is, Rupa Goswami was saying, from the Brahman realization, from Brahman realization, the person get happiness. And it is says in the Shastra, there is two varieties of sadhaka. One variety of sadhaka is he want the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He want Bhagavan, but he doesn't want his energy. And other variety of sadhak, he wants Supreme Personality of Godhead with all his potency, all his shaktis, including all the energies what Supreme Personality of Godhead had. He worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead filled with all his spiritual energy. The first sadhak is want Supreme Personality of Godhead. That the higher level, the bodily enjoyment, and above that, he want that sadhak to Bhagavan. He want the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He want to the wanting, but in that process, he doesn't want the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't accept the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He neglect. He said that his energy and his form, every age is mithya, maya. And that's why he neglect everything and he want that formless of the formless of Bhagavan. Because the energy, the form, is the Supreme Personality of God is the form, and that forms come through his spiritual Shakti is called Swarup Shakti. That Swarup Shakti, we can see the Supreme Personality of Goddess Sri Radha Gopinath ji in threefold bending form standing with his Shakti Srimati Radharani. But that sadhak doesn't accept that Krishna has Shakti. He is one Shaktiman without Shakti. What is the value of the Shaktiman without the Shakti? Therefore, Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna saying, "E yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyam." This is the merciful word of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very, very merciful word of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If somebody doesn't want his Shakti, his energy, but still he wants the Supreme Personality of Godhead in form of the Brahman, What is the Brahman? That Brahman is no form, no smell, no taste. You can't touch him. But there is facility to experience that Brahman in our heart. That Krishna gives one thing. Yes, if you want to, without my energy, so without my form, you can experience that within that your heart. Therefore, there is no name of the Brahman. Shastra said, Upanishad said, Tata. That means that. There is no proper name. And here we can see the Krishna, Nam, Ram, and Nrsimha. So many varieties of name of the supreme varieties, supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, that sadhak, that sadhak doesn't want his energy, but wants supreme personality of Godhead. But Krishna, being so merciful, appear in the form of the Brahman. Okay, you accept me. You don't want form, I will appear in the no form as the Brahman. And that sadhak, that also he want that form after liberation, after mukti, he want to merge into that Brahman. Therefore, that is called Brahman realization. And he want to enjoy in that Brahman. But Shastra, Srila Prabhupada and our Acharya says how long you will travel in the Brahman. How long you will stay in the Brahman. After some time, you will come again this material world, again take the human form, and again enjoy the bodily concept of life. This cycle will not break. There is higher enjoyment in the Brahman. But how long, how much? After some time, after many, many years, that person will come again. He will not go Vaikuntha. He will come to again this earthly planet and enjoy this bodily life in the different form of the. This is called Brahman realization, accepting no form. And third is saying, Rupa Goswami, from Supreme Personality of Godhead through his Bhakti devotional service. Because that second sadhak, he accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his energy. When he is accepting Supreme Personality of Godhead with his Swarup Shakti, Krishna appeared in the beautiful form of Krishna Ram and gave the opportunity to serve the conditioned soul, that the sadhak. And therefore, Rupa Goswami Pad in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, right, how can that Bhakta enjoy in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu through his devotional service? And that devotional service give the anand, pleasure, the highest pleasure in this material world, and that pleasure is unending. Anandam buddhivardhanam. And that pleasure is encouraging every step of their life, that sadhak, that bhakta, when he is doing service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, one of the 5th chapter, Prabhupada writes in Tatparya, Acharya Baldev Bhushan remarks, and he says, Mad Bhakti Prabhavena Sarvendriya Vijay Purvika Swa Atma Drishti Sulabh Iti Bhavaha. So, Prabhupada quoting Acharya, one of the our Acharya Baldev Bhushan, And he said, Mad Bhakti Prabhavena. And what saying? The senses can be completely controlled by the strength of the devotional service. When sadhak, when the bhakt want to control his senses, but the controlling his senses is very, very difficult. Sometimes, something like, if you want to, if you have butter, or you can put that butter in the refrigerator so much long time. But after many years, when you open the refrigerator and you find when the contact with air and atmosphere, the butter will melt. How long you try to put in the butter? If the butter remains in same situation as freeze, he will remain. Otherwise, he will come to contact with the air and atmosphere, he will melt. The conclusion is, artificially we cannot control our senses through yogic power, through so many mystic power. But Shastra saying, Krishna is saying, we can control our senses through service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And not our senses, but control the Krishna, Bhagavan, that Bhagavan, also through our devotional service. So this is the beauty of devotional service. And while doing this, we can get so much pleasure in our life. Just once Srila Prabhupada said, we can celebrate 365 days as a festival. What is the festival? We are giving pleasure to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are making happy. We want to make happy the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making happy Him. And we are receiving the same anand while serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Prabhupada write in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhus and his detail how when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared Navdeep, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walking through his state and Srila Prabhupada quoting the pastime with the Sirdhar Kulavecha. There is one bhakta and in Navdeep living in the very poor devotee, and he has a small hut, and hut have so many holes. He have only one lota. He have to do morning duty and he drink the water in the same lota. And he have not so much cloth, only one cloth, and that also is store. So much not on the cloth. But his business was to sell the bananas and banana fruit, banana leaf, banana trunk in the market. And from that he was thus living, and also what he earn some portion of money to worship the God and worship the Ganga Mai. In this way he was spending his money. And the Prabhupada mentioning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming every day, taking up the bath, walking through the market, and stopping in the Sirdhar Kulavecha and bargaining with Sirdhar Kulavecha. How much this price banana, how much banana leaf, how much cost banana trunk, why you are charging so much? I will not give this much. I will give only this much. So this is the conversation happening between the Bhagavan and Bhakta, and the Supreme Personality of God enjoying with his devotee, and devotee also enjoying conversation, doing बातचीत, बात करके आनंद ले रहे हैं. with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming and discussing and bargaining with Siddhar Kolavecha, and Siddhar Kolavecha saying, no, I am not taking this very, very less price, please take. And in this way, we can see the devotee, the sadhak, the bhakta, every day is alive with full of enjoy. He was getting so much enjoy through bhakti, the highest level of the bhakti enjoyment. Because he engaging his senses in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like in the Hindi lecture, Srila Prabhupada said. So Srila Prabhupada said, when you offer the bhoga to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, whatever cooked in the sattvic food, put in the plate, put it tulsi, and put in front of the deities, whatever deities, photos you have. And just request Krishna, please take this food. I made it. Please accept this offering. Please accept this food. And Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is so merciful. Krishna is so merciful because Krishna accepting your love through food and returning the same food as it is. Keeping the same food as it is. Just like in the Govardhan. When the Govardhan Puja was happening, Krishna said, worship the Govardhan. Offer it food, so varieties of food. And Brajvasi offering varieties of food to Krishna. And Krishna appeared in the form of Govardhan, eating everything, eating. And he asking, Anyor, give me more, give me more. And devotees are happily giving, not thinking about what will remain. मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा कुछ, ये तो खाए जा रहे हैं. Devotee is not thinking for himself. He want to give Krishna more and more and more. And when Krishna please, Krishna gave everything, return to the devotees, please accept it. Because of that food, but eaten by Krishna, accepted by Krishna, when we honor that food, our senses get purified. And in this way, that bhakt, engaging all his senses to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and getting every day tons and tons and tons of the pleasure in his life. And Bhagavatam is full of that description or a conversation with devotees. Prabhupada writes also in that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindh about Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Narasimha, they appear in front of the Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Narasimha, they want to give something to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj said, no, my dear Lord, I am not businessman. I am not businessman. I offered something to you and I want something written from you. No. This is our love offering to you. I don't want anything written. And Kapil Dev also, Lord Kapil also saying to his mother Dehuti, when I please with my devotee, I offer 5 kind of salvation, mukti. The 5 kind of mukti I offering my devotee, and my devotee says, my dear Lord, please don't give. I don't want. I don't want liberation. And we heard from in the second, how the Brahman realization sadhak first want mukti and went to want to go to Brahman, in the merge into the Brahman. He want mukti. And here the devotee, Lord is offering, please take it. Go back home, back to Godhead. Devotee said, no, my dear Lord, doesn't want. I don't want. I only want to serve you. That service Where in the spiritual world or material world? If you want to you want to give service in the spiritual world, please give me. You want to give service in material one, but give service. And devotee always, therefore, see to enjoying happily, with a happy mood in the enjoying the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the conclusion given by Rupa Goswami, three kinds of Ananda. And the highest level of Ananda is devotional service through Bhakti. That is given by Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So I will stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki.